Lieutenant Colonel Robert Bateman had some chilling words in a recent Esquire article. When referring to the Second Amendment, Bateman said, quote, "We will pry your gun from your cold, dead fingers." Well, Mr. Bateman, I never knew Charlton Heston, but I'm sure if he was still alive today, he would give you a single warm finger. Bateman went on to say that the only guns he would allow Americans to have would be black powder muskets, double-barrel shotguns, and bolt-action rifles with magazines that hold no more than 5 rounds. Well, let me be the first to thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Bateman, for your supreme generosity ahead of the ATF's National Firearms Act and also the Undetectable Firearms Act, both coming to a head next week.
This is a way of affecting tiny groups of interests that don't really get enough national attention to make anyone mad. The same thing is kind of happening with the Undetectable Firearms Act, but the Senate is using it as an opportunity to, if possible, inject whole comprehensive new ways of mandating and regulating how we make guns.
And while we do have constitutional sheriffs and oath-keeping members of our military, guys like Bateman do exist. Now, Evan, I've come to the knowledge that not everybody in the military feels the same way as you do. You know, you said you have a good majority, 60-40 or so, you said. But we have this graphic we're going to show our viewers. I know you can't see it, but this is a graphic of a soldier who definitely does not share your views and opinions. He's saying you don't join to say, "I refuse." Maybe you've seen this. I'm not sure if you have. Exactly. But he says, you know, stop making your signs and get the F back to work. Yep. What do you think about that?
That one right there, there's a blatant difference between blindly following and loyally serving, and that guy is a blind follower.
This is the kind of the mindless order following I've personally witnessed as law-abiding citizens have been arrested for carrying legal firearms.
There we go. Firearm. Any device designed made to adapt and expel a projectile through the barrel.
Keep reading.
Energy generated by that substance.
Keep reading. Don't mumble.
Any firearm made have integral part folding knife blade.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Thank you. Got quiet there, Sergeant.
Sorry, yeah, I did notice that you stopped reading out loud. Can you tell us the part that you were reading?
Yeah.
And why? They say turn in your guns to stop the school shootings, but the school shooting that they never want to talk about is Kent State, when members of the National Guard indiscriminately opened fire on students. Yes, some of them were throwing rocks. Some throwing rocks prompted the military to open fire on its own citizens. But you say not everybody in the National Guard is like that, and I agree with you. 100%. Not every guardsman is a potential mass murderer. But why is it that every gun owner in America is potentially the next Adam Lanza, potentially the next Aaron Alexis? Why can't I be given the benefit of the doubt? And they'll tell you, oh, it's because the police are better trained than you are. Well, tell that to the innocent bystanders that get shot by the NYPD every single year. Beyond the potential abuses of police and military, you have these gun-grabbing politicians who have the audacity to tell you to turn in your guns when they themselves are armed.
In the spirit of gun control, will you disarm your entire security team?
We'll get right back to you.
You'll get back to me?
I know the urge to arm yourself because that's what I did. I was trained in firearms. I'd walk to the hospital when my husband was sick. I carried a concealed weapon.
This is the type of mentality being taught in our schools, where constitutional law professors in the state of Texas teach their students that the Constitution is outdated and the Second Amendment needs to be repealed. But it doesn't stop there. Kids are being suspended for playing with bubble guns and eating their Pop-Tarts the wrong way.
The school took this so seriously that administrators even ordered that the 5-year-old receive a psychological evaluation.
And all of this is to say nothing of the United Nations Arms Trade Treaty. Police, military in the United States of America, you need to ask yourself a very serious, very pertinent question. Is there any law, any measure, any demand that you will not follow?
Would you confiscate guns if given federal orders to do so?
You're asking me hypothetically.
Yes, that's
not going there.
Would you?
Again, I can't even begin to guess what I would do.
Bateman is only the latest to join the ever-expanding rogues gallery antagonizing the Second Amendment. And I know it's really cool to go on YouTube and talk about your chest rig and about your hollow points and all this and that, and it's fine if you want to have that. My issue is that's not going to stop the current legislation. You need to pick up the phone, you need to call a constitutional sheriff, you need to get on regulations.gov and tell the ATF you don't want these measures, If your mayor and your mayors-to-be are not a part of Bloomberg's gun-grabbing group, make sure that they don't join Bloomberg's gun-grabbing group, or you get a situation just like we have right here in Austin, Texas.
I've got a proclamation on behalf of the mayor and city council that we want to present, but I want to say a couple of words, and I'll be brief. First of all, to the gentleman that's dying for attention, someone needs to inform him that there is no gun ban currently, but because of the work that we're doing here today, we will make your sign legitimate shortly.
People call us every day. They email us every day. They ask, I hear what you're saying, but what is the solution? You are the solution. We can't do everything. Sheriff Matt can't do everything. The Oath Keepers can't do everything. You have to do something for yourself. Call these people, email these people, show up at their offices, let them know that you mean business. And by meaning business, I mean with words and thoughts and ideas and positive legislation. If we can have a revolution of ideas, we can have a revolution without having to use our guns and bullets. I'm Jakari Jackson for the InfoWars Nightly News.
One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.